Hello, thrill seekers, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're dimming the lights and diving deep into the shadows where some of the most unsettling stories are born. These aren't just campfire tales. They're urban legends, stories that feel so real you might just start looking over your shoulder. They've been whispered from friend to friend, generation to generation, evolving with each telling but always retaining that core of pure, unadulterated fear. So, get comfortable, make sure your doors are locked, and let's explore 3 of the most disturbing urban legends that refuse to die. Our first story is one many of you might have heard in some form, a classic cautionary tale for anyone who's ever been home alone. It's often called The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs. Imagine this. A teenage girl, let's call her Sarah, is babysitting for a wealthy family in a huge, isolated house. The kids are finally asleep, and she's settled down in the living room to watch a movie. The phone rings. She answers, and a gruff voice on the other end simply asks, "Have you checked the children?" Sarah, thinking it's a prank or maybe the parents playing a joke, just hangs up. But a few minutes later, the phone rings again. Same voice. "Have you checked the children?" This time, she's a little more unnerved. She tells the man to stop calling and slams the phone down. She tries to get back to her movie, but the house suddenly feels a lot bigger and emptier. The silence is deafening. Then the phone rings a third time. The voice is more sinister now. "Have you checked the children?" Now genuinely terrified, Sarah calls the police. She explains the situation, and the operator, sensing her panic, tells her to try and keep the man on the line if he calls again so they can trace the call. "We'll send a car over right away," the operator assures her. Sure enough, the phone rings. It's him. Sarah, her heart pounding, tries to make small talk. "Why do you keep calling me?" she asks, her voice trembling. "I just want to know if you've checked the children," he rasps. After what feels like an eternity, the operator cuts in, her voice urgent and filled with alarm. "Get out of the house now. The calls are coming from inside the house." Sarah drops the phone and bolts for the front door, not daring to look back. Just as she bursts out onto the lawn, police cars screech into the driveway. They rush past her and into the house. Later, they tell her they found the man. He was hiding in the upstairs nursery, the very room where the children were sleeping. He had been making the calls from a second phone line. The chilling part? They found him unarmed. He wasn't there to harm the children physically. He just wanted to listen to their screams when he finally got to the babysitter. The horror isn't just about a physical threat. It's the psychological terror of knowing evil was just a few feet away, listening, waiting. Let's move from the suburbs to the open road for our next tale, a story that preys on our deepest fears of being vulnerable and alone. It's known as the high beams. A young woman is driving home late one night along a dark, deserted stretch of highway. As she drives, she notices a large, menacing-looking truck following her. It's keeping a steady distance, but every now and then, the driver flashes their high beams directly into her rearview mirror, blinding her for a second. At first, she thinks it's an impatient or aggressive driver, trying to get her to speed up, but it keeps happening. Flash. A pause. Flash. It's relentless and deeply unsettling. Her anxiety grows with every mile. Is this person trying to run her off the road? Are they trying to signal something? Her mind races through all the terrible possibilities. She speeds up, but the truck matches her pace. She slows down, and the truck slows down with her. The high beams keep flashing, erratically, almost like a frantic warning. She's too scared to pull over, convinced that the moment she stops, the truck driver will get out. She decides her only hope is to make it to the safety of her own home. She fumbles for her phone and calls the police, her voice shaking as she describes the truck and the flashing lights. The dispatcher tells her to continue driving and that a patrol car will meet her. Finally, she sees the familiar lights of her town. She doesn't dare drive to her own house, leading the truck to where she lives. Instead, she pulls into a brightly lit 24-hour gas station where a police car is already waiting. She jumps out of her car and runs towards the officer. As she does, the truck driver, a large, burly man, gets out of his cab holding a tire iron. The police officer immediately draws his weapon, but the truck driver isn't looking at her. He's looking at her car. "He's in the back seat!" the truck driver yells. The officer cautiously approaches the woman's car, peers into the back, and discovers a man huddled on the floor behind the driver's seat, clutching a knife. The horrifying truth dawns on her. The truck driver wasn't trying to scare her. Every time the man in the back seat would rise up with his knife, ready to attack, the truck driver would flash his high beams, startling the attacker and causing him to duck back down out of sight. The person she thought was her tormentor was actually her savior. It's a terrifying reminder that danger can be much closer than we think, hidden in plain sight, and that sometimes help comes from the most unexpected places. For our final story, we venture into the digital age, a place where legends spread faster than ever before. This is the story of Smile Dog. The legend says there's an image circulating online, usually with the file name Smile. JPG. It depicts a Siberian husky in a dimly lit room with a wide, unnervingly human-like smile, complete with a full set of teeth. The story goes that anyone who sees this image will slowly be driven mad. Those who have seen it report suffering from intense anxiety, nightmares, and a persistent feeling of being watched. The legend claims that the only way to free yourself from this curse is to spread the word. That is, to show the image to someone else. The original tale often comes with a detailed, fictional account of a writer investigating the smile dog phenomenon who eventually receives an email from a victim. This victim describes the torment, explaining that the dog from the picture appears in their dreams, whispering, "Spread the word." If you refuse, the visitations become more and more terrifying until you can't distinguish dreams from reality. You are haunted by this grinning creature until you either share the image or lose your mind completely. What makes this story so effective is its meta-narrative. Just by reading about Smile. JPG, you're implicated in the legend. Your curiosity is piqued. You might even be tempted to search for the image to see if it's as scary as they say. The story preys on our digital habits and the viral nature of the internet. It turns a simple act, viewing a picture, into a potential gateway to psychological horror. While the original image was, of course, a photoshopped creation, the story itself has become the real monster. It's a modern-day chain letter, updated with a creepy pasta twist. It taps into the fear of the unknown, the fear of information that can't be unseen, and the terrifying idea that a simple digital file could hold a malevolent power. It makes us question the safety of our own screens and the content we consume every single day. The curse isn't in the pixels, it's in the power of suggestion and the fear it plants in our minds. And there you have it. 3 stories that crawl under your skin and stay there. From dangers lurking inside your own home, to silent saviors on a lonely road, to a cursed image that haunts you through your screen. Urban legends are more than just spooky stories. They're a reflection of our collective anxieties. They remind us that the world can be a scary place, but they also teach us to be aware, to be cautious, and sometimes to trust our instincts. What are some of your favorite urban legends? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to read them. Thank you so much for joining me in the shadows tonight. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more tales that will make you question everything. Stay safe out there, and until next time, sleep tight.